So Dr. Wisely and Chikondi there have brought insight our way on data recovery systems. But then outside looking at the concepts and all of the words, what matters is if the system actually works. And now we're going to have an opportunity to get into a quick demonstration on what that looks like. Why is this important? The regulations around the data recovery, that every organization should have a data recovery spot. And this means that they should also, outside having the data recovery system, they should also be able to test the data recovery system to see how quick it goes, if it's still functioning. And we want to see if we can beat the sometimes 2 to 3 day trial and testing that some organizations have. I've been told that they'll be able to do it in a few minutes. So let's go and have a look and see if we can actually test the data recovery system and see if we can do that in minutes. This is key for your business and your customers.
Yeah, so we'll be doing a demo on one of the disaster recovery solutions. This is for a VMware environment. Like we indicated before, you can be able to achieve replication using a number of mechanisms. You can do it on the storage, on the application, or even on the hypervisor level. So this is what we are doing on the hypervisor, because this is a virtualized environment and we're using the tools which comes with a virtualized solution in order to achieve disaster recovery. So mainly we'll focus on 4 key areas which we'll demonstrate. First, we'll do the actual replication of a virtual machine. Just to simplify things, we'll replicate a virtual machine between 2 sites. Our sites are called Site A and Site B. After that, we'll do a failover whereby we'll assume maybe we can shut down the VM on one side, the production site, and we should be able to fail over to the secondary site and run the virtual machine from the secondary site. And let's say now, assuming that the production site now is back, we should also be able to revert back to the production site. So we'll also demonstrate that. And finally, we'll also do a test case scenario. So we have what we call disaster recovery testing. So this is an activity which an organization does, maybe it can be quarterly or after a certain period, whereby you just want to validate the solution. Because you can have a replication set, you can have backups, but are you sure that these can really work if things go wrong? So that's why testing is very important. So there are multiple ways of doing these tests, whereby in the first place, you just want to test whilst the production site is still running, or you want to do a complete failover as a test and run the operations from another site. So this will help us get a better understanding of these concepts. So I'll quickly take you through the demo which we have here. Like I said, we have got 2 sites. The first site is called Site A. The second site, which is the disaster recovery site, is called Site B. I've logged into this center. This should be a familiar interface for those people who works with a similar solution. This is VMware. So you can see from the address here, this is Site A. All right. And I've also opened another tab. This is Site B. So Site A is our production site, and you can see we have got ESXi hosts. We have got 4 of them, and these are physical servers in our setup. And then we have got a number of virtual machines which are running from these virtual machines. And I also want to mention these 4 virtual machines are in a cluster called 01A, and we have got another cluster which is the management cluster, where you can see things like the vCenter itself and other utilities. We also have other ESXi hosts which are outside these two clusters. But for the sake of this demo,
So what's the importance of having a cluster?
so remember at some point we talked things like high availability. So when we say cluster, we are just aggregating. It's a pool of the resources. In this case, physical servers, which are managed as a single unit. So you can achieve things like high availability. You can achieve things like the easy migration of virtual machines between the cluster. So let's say the cluster has got four VMs. You should be able to move things around between that cluster.
So necessarily when you're talking about the cluster, it's the high availability, meaning that in the event that one physical server is dead,
Yes.
we're still running. We're not saying it's a network issue.
Yes.
The systems are still running.
Yes.
Okay, let's proceed.
All right. So I also want to show another component which will be able, which is now the actual disaster recovery solution. So if I go to the main menu, you can see here we have got this VMware Lifesite Recovery, which is a solution which we'll be using today. If I click it, it will open a new tab and it will give us a summary of the current status of this system. So here it's just giving you a glance of the status. For example, we have got these two components that are showing as okay. I don't want to go into the specific details here, but I'll just continue and log in. That's where I will see a detailed view. So on this page, we can see these two boxes. These are what we call pairs. Okay, but our focus will be on the left-hand side. So this is a pair, which we have already configured for the purpose of doing this demo. Like I said, we have got two sites, site A and site B. So what this pair is doing is, as you can see here, we have got vCenter from site A, and there's this arrow which is facing both directions, meaning that these two are connected. And on the other side, we have got site B. So these two sites are located in two geographical two different geographical areas. Okay, and there are some things which have been configured inside. I will talk about this. You can see there's a protection group, as well as the replications, recovery plans. We'll go deeper as we proceed with the demo. But for now, the key component is you've got a pair which is connecting the two sites, site A and site B.
This reminds me of one of the customers that we had before, who asked to say, if you say you can replicate this data, how sure am I that it's not going to your offices instead of to my other site? So already here we're showing that you'll be able to see from the system and say, this data will only replicate between site A and site B. The data is not going to anyone else apart from what we've defined in the system.
Correct. Click. All right. Just minimize this. So I'll say view details so that we can go inside. Let me quickly log in. Yeah, so this is the main interface. Again, we are seeing the same thing.
Yeah.
We have got two sites here which are connected, site A and site B. And all the details between these two sites have been listed down here. So we have got site A and its own vCenter instance, which is it's connected to. The version and everything else is shown down here. So I will not waste much of the time here. I'll go to replications. So remember we said replication is the actual transfer of data between the sites. And on the far left, you can see we have got outgoing and incoming. So when we say outgoing, it means, and remember, we have logged in on the production site, which is site A. And if we're on site A and we are saying outgoing, it means these are virtual machines which are moving from this site going to a secondary site. Okay, so here we already have 3 virtual machines which are being replicated. As you can see, the arrow, it's moving from A going to B. If we go to incoming, it's the opposite. It means because this can work in any direction. You can have some workloads moving from one direction for the other, while some workloads are moving in the opposite direction. And if we say incoming, it means now the arrow has changed. We are moving from B going to A. As of now, we don't have anything in this window. Going back here, these are the VMs we are saying which are going to site B, and you can see the status here. When it says okay, it means it's in a state whereby you can be able to recover it from a different site. You can be able to do failover, okay? And more details here, you see there's an RPO. We talked about this. So it means for this VM, it has been configured with an RPO of 1 hour, meaning it's synchronizing every hour. For this solution, it's an asynchronous solution, so you can go as low as 1 minute. Okay. Previously, you could go as low as 5 minutes, but now you can go as low as 1 minute. And the target, it's site B, and all the other details are there. But should you want to check even more details about this, you can even expand this virtual machine. Okay. So here you can see the last time it synchronized, how much time it took to do the sync, and the amount of data which was synchronized. It's very important to look at this figure on the last sync size, because the way the application works, when you are doing it for the first time, when you just do the setup, we have what we call an initial sync. And the initial sync, it's whereby you are copying the whole block. If the machine is 1 TB, it means you are copying the entire 1 TB. But after that, it will be governed by the RPO. So if the RPO is 5 minutes, it means every 5 minutes, it's able to detect the changes which have happened in the system. And only those changes will be pushed to the other side. That way, we use the footprint. So it's incremental. It's not like every time we are copying everything. That's why I say that figure is important, because it just shows you that these incremental updates are very small. Just other things to take note of. I'll not talk about everything on this page. Network encryption. We talked about this. Remember, we talked about encryption for data in transit. So you can see here network encryption. It's enabled. It means as data is being replicated between these two sites, it's not transmitted as plain data, it's encrypted. Okay. And something else which we also talked about is on network compression. So let's say you're having network issues. You want to reduce the footprint of the amount of data which will be transferred. You can even compress it to make it smaller, or for easier transfer in between these two sites. All right, I'll move on to the next tab. I think we have talked enough about the applications. We'll go to protection groups. So a protection group, it's you are trying to bring together maybe of what 20 virtual machines or 100 virtual machines, which needs to be replicated between these two sites. And you want to manage them as a group, okay? Because what this solution does, it will, in the first place, it will help you with the actual replication, which is the movement of the data. Secondly, it also helps you with the orchestration and automation. Remember, we said when we talk about disaster recovery, it's not about just copying the data, but the processes in between as well. If you have the data on the other side, something has happened, your data center, production data center is down. What are the processes involved in between? Okay, so this is another factor which differentiates different types of disaster recovery. Yes, because this one, with your protection group, you can you can manage, let's say, like I said, 50 VMs at once. You can do things like configure the order on how the VMs should be started on the other side. You can configure things like the network which should be used on the other side. Okay, but the whole idea of having the protection group is you just want to click the button once.
Yeah, because some of the customers that we do have, some of the systems, you've got the order by which you're able to boot them up.
Yes.
So for example, you can't boot the application layer when the database is down because you'll be fetching that data from there.
Yes.
So these are defined by the protection group.
Yes.
By the click, we're able to recover from the side instead of the manual way of recovering the data.
Yeah. So you can say, for example, when I say recover, now you're automating these tasks. First, maybe it will start, maybe you can say, I want to start my DNS server. It's crucial for some applications, including maybe the database. Then you can say, let's start the two database servers. After that, so you are following a chronological order, okay, on how these things will be done. And on the network, I also want to emphasize how intelligent this thing is, because one of the challenges is when you're doing the failover, there are so many tasks which you need to do on the recovery side. For example, the networking component. So this will even go inside the virtual machine and change, even if you want to change the subnet and all those things, you can configure everything in advance. And when you've got a disaster and you want to fail over to the other side, you just say, go to the protection group, click, say fail over, and it will start running. So we'll be able to see that very short. So the recovery plan now, it's the actual transition between the sites, and this will also be able to look. As of now, there is no recovery plan, but we'll be able to create one and try this. So let's go straight and try to configure one of the VMs. We duplicate it and we try these things. Okay, so we are still on the production side. Let me just go into the vCenter. So let's use Sales App.
Okay.
Yes, I will just do for one VM, but you can configure many VMs at once. But for now, we'll just do for one. We can just say live site recovery, configure application. So here you are supposed to select the target site. So our target site is B, because remember we are inside A. Okay, you can be able to achieve the same from the other side. So our target is site B. Next, then it will do a validation. So validation is just checking if you have got everything in place which is required for this process. So it's saying it's okay. We should be able to proceed with this setup. Target data store. So a data store is the space where you want to host this virtual machine. I'll choose this. This is a recent data store. It's a software. Recent is a software defined storage from VMware. There's also an interesting option here, select seeds. If you had configured this before and you have got some data on the other side, you can select seeds and it will just update instead of copying everything from zero. So, but for now, we'll copy everything because we don't have any copies on the other side. We'll say next. Which cluster do we want to map this with? Let's select this, or let's select both. Should work. And a few more configurations. RPO has appeared again. So for RPO, yeah, you see you've got a slider here. You can put it to 20 hours. It means it will be synchronizing every 20 hours. You can put it to a minute or 3 minutes. Let's put it at 5 minutes. Let's put it at 5 minutes. And I will skip quizzing. Network compression. If you want to compress this, if you take this to compress, so when you compress, it means you'll be using slightly more CPU, because compression requires processing power will host. Okay, so but it's not an amount to be worried about. It's a very small amount of CPU resources which will be consumed. And we can also see here network compression. It's ticked by default because as of now, for this solution, encryption for data in transit is enabled by default. So we'll leave it like that, or not disable it. Next, protection group. If you want to associate this, if you want to add to an existing protection group, you can select here. Or if you want to create a new one, let's just create a new one, add it to a new protection group. Now let's give it a name. Let's just say demo protection group. We'll say next. Recovery plan. Remember, we don't have any recovery plans. We'll just also add a new recovery plan. Say demo recovery plan. Next. So now you get a summary of what you are about to configure. All those features which we have enabled, and the protection group associated with this, as well as the recovery plan, and they say finish. So you'll be able to see the task down here. It's configured. Yeah, so it has been successful. It's now creating the protection group and the recovery plan. So let's minimize this. If we go to protection groups, you can see the new protection group called demo.
Yeah.
And if we go to recovery plans, you can see the recovery plan called demo as well. If we go to replications, you see there's a new one here, which is not okay. It means in this state, you cannot be able to fail over. And if we expand, you can see the status, it's saying initial sync. So I indicated here the initial sync, you are actually copying everything. You're copying everything between the sites and all the details are here. Let's try to refresh. It shouldn't take some time. It's already done because the network is quite good. So it has finished. And even if we go to the protection group, select the demo protection group, you can see there's only, the status is okay as well. And there's only one virtual machine. The same if you go to the recovery plan, you can select, and here recovery plan status is showing us ready. Yes. So you can configure all the recovery steps. Of course, we only have one VM here, so there isn't much to do. But what I want to show is we now have the option to run here. If you click this run, after configuring everything, and you click run, now it will be able to fail over to the secondary site. Okay. Yeah, so you have done the replication, and just to confirm that indeed the replication has happened, we can go to the secondary site here. This is site B.
Yeah.
And if we, let's just refresh, because that VM was not here, but now I think we use,
What was the name of the
account on app.
Okay.
Let's verify.
Should be the cells.
That's sales, yeah? Sales up here. One. Yes, so we should be able to find it here. It's one here. Okay. So as you can see, it's powered off. So in this state, it's just sitting idle, ready for recovery. And it means since we recovered an RPO of 5 minutes, every 5 minutes it will be updated. Okay. So and let's try to do a recovery. I will not go into the automation part, whereby you can edit. Let's go to the site recovery. But like I said, you can edit the steps and all those configurations here. Okay. So this is exactly what will happen when you're fading over to the other side. But we'll not go into the specific details because it requires a lot of time to do that. But now we're just doing the basic test on the failover. So let's go. Okay, so you can see there is run, there is also test. Okay, we'll come to test later, but for now let's just run it.
Okay. So we're running the recovery.
So running the recovery, there are two ways on how you can do that. First of all, let's say your system is completely down. In fact, you can just shut down the VM, okay? To assume that something has happened to that VM. Let's just go back and shut down this one.
Is the cells up here?
Yes, the cells up. Might end up shutting down. Let's just stop it. We'll shut it down. So in this case, it means it's no longer running. Let's see what's happening. It's shutting down. Yeah, it's down now. Okay, so you can see it's part of for some reason. Let's say it has crashed or something has happened. We can go here. So we'll proceed with the recovery. So it's telling you the summary here. The protected site is site A, where this machine is running from, and the recovery site is site B, and these two are connected. And this recovery plan only contains one visual machine. So you have to say, I understand that you are accepting that this is what is going to happen. And down here, we have got two types of recoveries. Okay, it can be a planned recovery. Okay, or it can be a disaster recovery. Disaster recovery, it means
Things have gone bad.
Things have gone bad. It's not there anymore.
Yeah.
So the main difference here is that if you select planned migration, it means the server is still intact in working order, and before it does the failover, it will attempt to replicate the most recent changes so that there is zero loss of data.
Yeah.
Okay, but in this case, we use it's a disaster, so we'll go disaster recovery next. Again, we have been presented with the so you can be able to monitor the processes, what is happening here, the percentage and all the steps. Okay, yes, so whether it's successful or something has failed, now it's at 96%. It's moving very fast. So I also want to show you here whereby we have got the power on priority. So you can, like I said, you can have multiple groups. So power on priority 1 VMs, so you have got priority 2 VMs. So you do first power on priority 1 VMs, then 2, 3, 4. You can customize that. By default, it goes into 3. That's why you're seeing that under 3 here, we have got this 1 VM, which is the cells which we're configuring. If we had 20, they could all have been listed here. So yes, what is happening right now, it's powering on priority 3 VMs. It means it's powering on this VM. If everyone says, let's go to the other side and see what's really happening. If we select it on side B, you can see that it's indeed powering on the machine. Okay, you remember it was off, we didn't do anything.
So let's move the data back into the production and it's powering up the VM.
Yes, so it's powering up the VM from side D. And imagine the less effort which we have used. If we had, let's say, because the process is the same, if you have 50 visual machines, it's just these few clicks, and everything will be happening in the background. You just be watching. In a few minutes, everything is updated in the correct order which you wanted, the network configured, and everything else in its place. Let's give it some time. Let's see, it's booting. Going back, since it's not done yet, you still see that it's still powering on. The same if we go to the tasks, you also see the task for even more details. Yeah. Let's give it a moment. Then we should be up and running shortly. We're at 80%. Yeah. Oh, sorry, this is the wrong one. It's this one.
So at this point, what we're doing is we've got the data at the DR. We're powering up from the DR.
Yes, we are powering up from the DR side.
Okay.
Yes.
Another part that you mentioned as we're moving into this, the IP addresses at the production site would definitely be different from the ones at the DR. It might be the same, but subnets are different. So we're talking about different ways of connection, but the IPs are different.
Yes.
Have we already set up the IPs?
We didn't set up, but like I indicated before, that is a feature which is also available whereby you can customize.
Automatically, when it's powering up, comes up with a new IP address.
It should come up with a new IP address. Because remember, if you are just to copy, if the IP at the production was 192.168.0.1,
the same IP that goes the other side.
Yes, but you might have a different subnet.
So the VM will come up, but you can't connect because the IPs are different. That's what I was asking you to say.
Yes.
Have we done the IPs?
Yes, because that subnet is not available. So yeah, you raised a good point. That is also done in the background. Yes, I think it's done now because we can see that it's on the login page here. You can be able to log in and do all sorts of things. So going back here, let's see. Yes,
okay,
it's done. And if we go up, we'll see that the status is recovery complete and the description here. Okay. Now on site A, this machine is still down, and on the other side, this machine is now running, which is the console which I'm opened here. It's running. It means at this point, you're able to run your systems from a different geographical site, which is the DR. But at the same time, you have now started working on resolving the issue at the production. Because remember, the DR site is a temporary site. All things being equal, you need to sort out all the issues at the production, and you should be able to go back to production. So let's say now the issues at the production site have been resolved and you want to go back. Yeah, the process is simple as well. Okay. Let's go to Site Recovery Manager. Replications. You can see that this one has been recovered.
Yeah.
Yes. So you might want to reprotect this so that, remember, here it's still appearing as outgoing, but we might want to now go in the opposite direction, moving from the DR, going to the production. Now let's select this and say reprotect. So the new protected side will be B because it's running from B now, and it's going to A. So I say understand and say next and say finish. Okay, so what will happen is the direction now will change. Now we'll be moving from the DR, so reprotect in progress. Let's go and check the duplications here. You see it's no longer on outgoing, but it should be from incoming because the direction has now changed. So even if we expand and it's doing that initial sync, so once it finalizes, it will continue the normal incremental updates. So then we also try to now do a fail back to the original state, because here we're just configuring the replication from B going back to A.
Okay. So there might be a question to say we're simulating a disaster, but we only had a virtual machine that was shut off.
Yes.
Are we replicating back?
Yes.
Are we replicating the changes, or we recreating that virtual machine?
we are recreating that visual machine, because whatever will be pushed to this side will be based on the current status
From the DR side.
from the DR, which is the one which is running in good state.
Okay.
Yes.
And in the event that I still want to see this, because sometimes it might be the transactional logs, you want to see who else had access to this,
Yes.
or the forensics and all that.
Yes, all that is available.
Okay.
Yes. You should be able to check the logs, what activities were performed, what failovers, and including the audit logs, which checks the users and their actions. So it looks like we are done. Yeah, it's okay now. So if I go to the other side on live site recovery, but for site B, let me see if it's open. I think it's not open. Let me just open. You can still be able to see all these things, but it will be the opposite of whatever we were seeing on the other side. Let me log in. Yeah, so B going to A, because we are here on B, on applications, you can see it's outgoing. But if I go to this one, it's incoming. Applications, it's incoming. So yeah, the recovery plans, this one is now ready.
Okay.
It's showing ready. Ready in what state to move from site B if you want to go to A, which is going back now. So whether you can just shut it down or you can just push it, it will shut down and start it on the other side. So you can be able to run. And it's a disaster, or even this one should work, but this one it will just consume more time because it will attempt to copy some data. So let's just select
Alright, great.
yes. Next, finish. So the process itself is very easy. Recovery steps, you go back to the same interface and you'll be able to see what is happening. As of now, it's still off, the sales number for this one, but very soon it will come back automatically.
So what was done now, we've simulated disaster at the production. Actually, we've started with replication.
Yes.
From the production site, we just said site A, into site B.
Yes.
We've simulated a disaster at the production and managed to come up at the DR site. Now we've replicated in reverse back to the production.
Yes.
We're coming up at the production sites. What else do we have to show?
We can also try to showcase the test scenario.
Okay.
Like during our discussion, we said testing is a crucial component of a disaster recovery solution, where you want to make sure that indeed my Mbope is okay and I can be able to use it. So yeah, the VM is up now. So yeah, you can verify here, you see that it's up and running, all is well. The site recovery, it shows that of course it's still running a few other things, but the VM is now up. If there are any configurations which needs to be done, I think this is the time. So let's just wait for it to finish, then we'll try the last case scenario.
So coming on the testing, I think we've had this a number of times, even starting from school, where you've got a project, time to present, then you're like, but it was working.
Yes.
It's not now
It's not working.
We've had the same again, even on the customer sites.
Yes.
I know as part of the banking systems on the Basel II requirements, they need to be having DR testing every quarter. And you're saying about every quarter, but you're actually going to be doing this like every day if you want.
Yes.
So these are the sessions that we're saying you can bring in us back to the customers. Since we're done, can you go into the testing?
Yeah. Let's go to the submarine. Okay. We need to now set that connection again, because now we have gone to the production,
yes.
and as of now, we are not protected. If we go to the replications, coming, So it's showing us a recovery, but it's not doing any remediation. So we need to reprotect. So let's just reprotect this. It's even showing you when you go here to say reprotect needed. As of now, it's running back. It's running the normal way at production, but it's not being protected to any DRA site. So reprotect. So these processes are very simple as long as you do the right initial configurations, which is now our responsibility to make sure that we have done the correct configurations using the best acceptable practices. So finish. Yeah, it's done. Very fast. Let's refresh. Okay, reprotect instead in progress. It means it's for now it's replicating again. Shouldn't take a minute. Yeah, and if you really want, you can also check the amount of data which is being copied here. So it will show you how much data is being copied in real time. Yeah, I think it's done. Okay. Let's refresh. Yeah, it's okay. Going to the recovery plan, to select this. Now you see it's ready. So it's ready for running it, which is the failover, or it's also ready for testing. So like I said, testing is twofold. You can test while the production is running, or you can also completely do a failover test. Let me go to the DRA side just to check the current status of things. You can see that it's off. Yeah, it's off. And let's go and do a test. So I can say test. And our protected site is A and the recovery site is B. You can duplicate recent changes to the recovery site as well. Next, finish. And you can monitor the recovery processes here. What is happening? Test in progress. So what will happen is it will power on this machine in a special environment without affecting because yes, as you can see, it's powered on. It will be powered on, whereby you can be able to log in. If there's a database inside, you'll be even able to log in into the database. It will get the IP which is supposed to get at the DRA. You connect to it. Everything will be working the way it's supposed to work. You can do data validation to check what is the actual data which is in this machine. So that's what we are trying to do. But if you go back to production, you see that this one is also running. So this is saving production workloads. It means users are able to
still go into the production.
But at the same time, you're running another instance on the other side, and it's also just working normal, but in a controlled environment.
Apart from the actual just testing, what other things can we use this for? Can we use it for reporting?
Yes, of course. I talked about the monitoring component and the reports which you're able to get. So yes, in short, you can be able to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the testing. So if we go back, let's see the status. Of course, it's still running. But yeah, it will be able to show you that as of now, you're in this mode. Yes, and when you're done, you cancel it, and it will shut down on the other side, and nothing will be affected on the production side. So the key thing in this whole demo is the simplicity. As long as you do the right configurations. Like I say, we're also going to do other demos on other layers, on the application layer, on the storage layer. You can in fact combine, for example, this solution can also work with the, if you've got a storage which supports replication. Let's say you've got a storage which supports synchronous replication. There are adapters which you can connect to this solution, and you can be able to merge the two. It will be using the storage duplication, but you'll be managing it on the virtualization layer, and even get better results.
So I remember some of the customers I've dealt with, normally they will say DR testing once a month, but you start on a Friday, though they're not sure whether it will work, so that if it doesn't work, you do on a Saturday and try to recover up to Sunday, and sometimes you go up to Monday.
Yes.
Today we're showing them, actually the DR testing can be done within minutes, which is what we've shown today.
Yes, it should be very fast. So that is one of the good qualities of a proper DR system. It should be efficient operation-wise. It shouldn't be complicated. Remember, these are the systems which are required when you're under panic, when things are not working, and your brain is already not working fine, and now you want to have a very strict procedure or something which is very complicated. You can easily make a mistake. That's why these solutions will give you an option to orchestrate, to automate in advance. So most of the tasks will be automated in advance, and when it's time to fail over, you want to make sure that maybe you just press 3-4 buttons and everything is done automatically.
Actually, we brought in a very right word. Recently, I've been asked, because I think in the Marawi scenario, we're having from the leadership to say we need to digitize. So I was saying, actually, for us, we're not only saying digitize, we're saying automate, go a step further. Yes. And these are the skills that we have.
Yes.
Look right here.
Sure.
Thank you.
What we've seen there is simple but powerful and effective. Data recovery testing in minutes. That is what enterprise, government, and organizations are looking for. And Sparc Systems is bringing that to your table today. I'm excited to also say that next month we will be launching data center in Iraq. And of course, we've been hinting and speaking about other bigger spaces with the data center for Sparc Systems. So I'd really love for you to come and join us as we continue to innovate, as we continue to think, as we continue to think tech. My name is Ruth Kulaisi. Until next time.